Mill hates me and I don't know what I did. What should I do? I have been dating my boyfriend for about a year and a few months, but it's a serious relationship. We both take each other very seriously, we've met each other's families, we've gone on trips together, he even asked me to move in with him into the house which he bought a few months before he and I started dating. We talk about marriage and children. Our futures as a whole. He's an amazing man and I wouldn't change him for anything in this world. But here's the issue. His mother is a codependent mother. My boyfriend takes care of her, as well as other family members, but they are not the issue, only she is. She doesn't work or pay any bills, legit all she does is cook and clean and decorate around the house, which I don't see an issue with, she's just trying to help however she can. My boyfriend has all of her needs taken care of even though she's married to my boyfriend's stepdad who lives in the house as well. He helps my boyfriend with a part of the mortgage, but that's just about it. Aside from that, he doesn't bother and I'm happy he lives in the home. He is kind. My boyfriend brought his family with him into this new home in order to take them out of a situation they were in before, which I completely understand. I didn't see the issue and really admired him for taking on the responsibility of taking care of his family. It's one of the reasons I fell for him to begin with. He has an amazing heart. His mother wants to have complete control over everything and everyone, and she feels like no one is above her. She feels like it's her rules or the highway and anything anyone else says is invalid, and if you question her authority, you automatically become her enemy. An issue in our relationship has been his mother and how demanding she is and how disrespectful she can be towards not only me but him as well. To summarize, she's always demanding to know where he is, who he's with, telling him when to come home. Go shopping for this, go buy me this. She said I don't help around the home even though I cook sometimes, not just for him, but the entire family including his siblings. I clean my boyfriend's room, bathroom, I organize his things, I fold his laundry, I help him with work whenever I can, etc. My boyfriend always reminds me of everything I do for him and expresses gratitude, even though I wish I could do so much more, and she tried to tell him that I'm using him to live off of him and for his money when I have never once ever asked him for money our entire relationship. His money has never once mattered to me, and she referred to me as that woman at one point. Every time he would come see me, she would make it a point that where I live is dangerous, she's never once come to my home, and that people get killed every day to try to scare/intimidate him from coming to my home. I live with him but half the time I stay at my apartment to give some space to his family. She thinks she can make all of the rules in his house because she's his mother, and since she gave him life, he owes her everything. He just bought the house and gave his mother the master bedroom with double walk-in closets, while he took the basement. She thinks nothing can be done in the home without her permission, and that whenever he defies her, she blames it on me. She thinks I'm the one feeding ideas into his mind that are driving him from his mother, when all he asks is to respect him as the owner of the home and to stop disrespecting me. She thinks he's choosing my family over his, when he's only spent one holiday and part of another with mine, and 90% of the time we're at his house with his family. This is just the background of our relationship. She placed cameras inside of the home for security, but she uses it to spy on everyone, which everyone is uncomfortable with. Long story short, my boyfriend bought his sister and mother a flight to go on a month-long vacation. While she was gone, he invited my sister and best friend to come over because it was my birthday weekend and he wanted me to have a sleepover and relax with them since the next day we were going out. His mother made a group chat texting the both of us telling me to kick them out of the house, that no one is allowed to visit while she's not there. He told her no, and she got absolutely livid, threatening to take a flight back home and kick them out herself. He disconnected the cameras because he's had enough of her arguing and her spying and telling him what to do. She purposely did not tell me happy birthday. He told her to apologize and she sent me a message on WhatsApp 2 days later saying happy birthday, sorry I forgot, which she deleted so I couldn't see afterwards before I got a chance to respond, but did not apologize about everything else. She showed up 9 days early from her trip with his sister on his sister's birthday, demanding that he put her cameras back, which he declined. She began screaming, breaking vases, plates, anything glass you can think of in front of my BF's 7-year-old niece, which is traumatizing. She also broke my boyfriend's Ring camera, which he had to replace. He took away her access. She attacked his brother when he tried to stop her. He now has scratches everywhere. She's convinced that he's choosing me over his mother and told him that I will eventually leave him, and she knows that because she's his mother and she's never wrong. She said that she doesn't think I'm the right girl for him, even though I've been nothing but respectful towards her even through all of these situations. It really hurt my feelings. She started to tell him that when she dies, he'll regret having chosen me. She turned the entire issue into a GF versus mother thing when the issue was between her and my BF to begin with. I don't know what to do. She says she'd rather move out than apologize to me and him. I don't even know what to say to her. I went back home and I have not seen her since she came back from her trip. The last time I saw her was before her trip. What should we do? He gave her an ultimatum. She stays and listens to his rules and stop being so demanding. 2. She moves out. My issue is I don't want anyone to think I'm feeding these solutions into his mind. I don't want her to move out, I just don't think there's another solution that's feasible. Comment. I only made it halfway through. You have to decide if you want this in your future or not. She'll always be like this. There's no magic phrase or rain dance you can do to make her stop. I'm sure BF is amazing, but it sounds like his mom is there to stay. You just have to decide if you want this in your life, or not. If your boyfriend doesn't see this as an issue, run. He needs to grow a backbone and establish major boundaries with his mother. This is so toxic. Especially if things have become violent. Her behavior is not okay. Your feelings are valid, please don't let anyone gaslight you into thinking this is okay or accept it as normal. I would not be afraid to give an ultimatum to your boyfriend because what you allow now will carry over into your marriage. Establish your boundaries and expectations now. Go to family therapy if having mature adult discussions with her is not productive. If that didn't work, I would be so fast to throw out ultimatums to the boyfriend. If you moved in up married or not, then he would be telling the wicked witch, would he not, that you are the queen bee here, not her. Then kick her disgusting arse out before children appear on the scene. Good luck. Whatever you do, don't get rid of your own space to get away until she's gone. Do not trust the fact that she will stay and listen to his rules. She won't ever do that. Just keep on keeping on and let him handle his mother. I'd just pretend she wasn't there. When speaking to him, speak very little of her but make yourself heard at the same time. I will not tolerate being spoken down to, manipulated, or belittled in a home I have to live in. I've done nothing wrong, and don't want to move in because she is allowed too much rain. No one would want to move into an environment they'd never truly be welcomed in. I need to feel comfortable in my living space. Short and sweet. If he doesn't respect that, he will not respect you. She has got to go if you move in, and even then have a backup plan because she will find a way to weasel her way back in. Next story 2. Should I start standing up to my mill? Or is it not worth the fight? This is a long-standing problem and one I've recently reached my limit on. My mother-in-law is a good woman in her heart. She's the type of person who will drop anything in a time of crisis to help someone. When she wants to turn it on, she can be very vibrant and fun. However, her energy completely dictates the tone of her interactions. If she's in a bad mood, which seems to be most of the time, then too frigging bad for you, cause now the whole room has to suffer along with her. She speaks to people, particularly family, myself included, in a very rude and aggressive manner, often completely unwarranted. She saves the worst of it for my husband, who is her only child. She has a tendency to behave like a petulant child who will punish everyone if she doesn't get what she wants. She is very controlling, often just for the sake of having control, not even because she feels strongly about what she wants. She can also be extremely cliquey. Yesterday, she actually tried to control how I was eating my lunch, and when I bristled, she sulked. I don't let anyone speak to me the way she speaks to me, but with her I find that I don't tell her stop, and like other people in her life, it's easier to just try to let it slide than to try to stop it. I find I'm often very wound up after the fact about the way she's spoken to me, and I vow that next time I'll speak up, but I never do. This is a woman with a career and many friends. I looked at her across the room the other night and I saw someone who doesn't feel like they belong, but this behavior from a grown adult is not acceptable and it has the opposite of the desired effect for both her and her loved ones. It takes a major toll on all of us, especially my partner, who stands up to her more than anyone else, but it always devolves into a fight. Sometimes she's receptive to what my husband is saying, but nothing ever actually changes. Looking for advice on what people would do here, because I am not someone to take this type of treatment and in my biological family this would never fly. Comment. You say she is a good woman in her heart, and then describe someone who is not a good person. Can you stop spending time with her? Just not having her around will do wonders for you. If you live with her, then get out. Spend time at work, at the library, go for a walk, do anything. If you have to spend time with her, then grey rock and info diet. Sometimes they will deliberately try to provoke you only to get a reaction, so don't give them one. Make yourself as interesting as a grey rock and ignore their antics. I know it's difficult, but the only way to win is to not play their game. I am a very similar situation. My Mill has a great heart but only uses it to benefit her. She's shown her ass multiple times and every time I say I'm done and over it, then end up in the same cycle every time. I'm currently at the beginning of the cycle, just went through a huge storm with her and we're just now getting out of the silent phase. This time I've decided to let her do her thing and not associate for a while. Usually I'll forgive and forget, but now I'm just giving her space and not stepping back into the role of happy, fun dill. I would suggest disassociating if you could for a while. Don't give her the attention you normally do. If you feel like you can't say anything, don't say anything at all. This is a crappy relationship that leaves you feeling badly. What have you got to lose by changing the dynamic? Start responding, every time, in the moment. Geez, what crawled up your ass and died? Why are you so unpleasant today? That was a very rude remark. Every time she says something snarky, mean, or negative, comment on it and make her feel embarrassed. Yes, she'll get pissy and petulant, but maybe, after a few times, she'll eventually stop. If she doesn't, you're in no worse position than you are now. Let her have it every single time. In the end, it might not improve your relationship with her, but you'll certainly feel a lot better.